Ayo.
Ayo.
Hi.
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 Hi. Welcome back.
So,
Not allowed to say that. Let me turn this up in my headphones. There
yeah,
we
turn
go.
me up in the headphones too. I like to hear more
Hmm.
headphones. Give me
I
that
like
volume.
Let's talk about this first.
Oh, hello. Who is she?
She was like a little thing that I just picked at so much that I
Mm,
scratched it. So now it's like a burn. Looks like a burn.
I do that all the time.
Really got up
All
in.
the time. And then it's just a
And then
scab.
let me match my lipstick to it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you for letting me move past that. I
But
won't be able to
I love your
ever.
look. I love this blouse.
Thanks. I love your look.
Thanks. Ugh. So
Thanks.
angry this week. I hate everybody.
I
Um,
know.
but not you.
Oh,
And not
thanks.
you, our
Your
viewer.
hair looks great. Your skin's beautiful.
Ugh. Where do I pay you? Okay. What do I owe you?
Right here.
So, so please show me this beach bag.
Yet another Margiela bag,
Mm.
but make it this.
Wow, looks so good. What
And
is
then I
that
just made these
material?
little like bows to
That's
because I didn't
so
feel like
cute.
and it's
I
ginormous.
love her. I love her.
So I did this job in New York for this. It's called study, and now of course I'm like trying not to cut off the tag, but I did. And I
Mhm.
got this like, remember all the time we were talking, we always said like boiled wool. Remember this
Yeah.
specific joke? This is the boiled wool
In the flesh is
with a
beautiful.
poncho. Like, when am I ever going to be in a boiled wool poncho? Or do you want a slouchy Margiela knockoff?
Yes, always. She
Okay,
looks good. Is she
she's
thick
cute.
and heavy or is she just like soft?
No, and I used like one of the sides as the strap, so it's like flouncy.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, and it can like cross it. It's
Oh,
cute. So she's a
love
cute
that.
little, what's it called? Like the origami bag, right?
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
stone? Okay, what are we talking
Mm.
about?
Mm. Well, I love you. And
Love you.
last time we were talking about reality TV and how you
We
were
won.
on a show. It was
Mhm.
almost 20 years ago, right? Not sure on the timeline because I am.
It was 20 years ago in this August. So 20 years ago now.
Wow. Wow.
Holy moly.
20-year anniversary of you being on a reality show.
That's crazy, man.
And the aftermath.
Hmm.
But first, we want to get through. It would be fun. I love to hear this, and I know sometimes it's triggering, but I love the story. So,
I was
like,
talking about it. I just don't know who I said what to, when, where, why. And that's why you're a really fantastic guide to like pull me back on track.
yeah, because you have never spoken to our people about these
Correct.
stories.
Or like, yeah, I just, yeah.
And so last we left off, it was like semifinals, and they're already filming, and your
Uh-huh.
plane was delayed. So you got there alone in a 50-person van, just and
Correct.
they're just like cameras in your eyeballs, and you're just like,
Yeah.
hey, what do I say? Nobody's talking to you. And then you show up, and then they make you walk. I think that's as far as we got.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing there is like how we talk about reality TV and like how are these people so quick or how are they, they're gosh, they're it's like people that are meant to be there and then there's people that aren't. There's people that think they are.
And then there's
Like,
people that know they are
yeah,
not meant to be there.
yeah, but 20 years ago, I didn't
Nope.
know.
No, how could
Maybe I
you know?
knew, but it was whatever. Anyways, the point is thinking quick on your toes, quick on your feet, quick on your toes, whatever.
Which you are.
But not when there's cameras in your face and you're barfing inside and just swallowing your throw up for 2 months.
It's too much.
Yeah, and then so yes, the camera's in your face, and like, why couldn't someone just be like, yes, if you want to talk, or no, you don't have to, or just anything, just like, hey,
Just a little
don't look at
direction.
so like sunny day in LA. I think I need to see the footage.
I want to see that so bad.
We did that. Okay, so yeah, and then we get to the party, right? And I'm late to the party. Tardy for the
Right.
party, and they're like that you have to give it all you got. What?
Like show up with a pizzazz.
Yeah, like no, I
Cool.
showed up barfing and then barfing more. And then you're in like a competition and then you're like at a dinner. It's just, I don't, it's just so now you're this, 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 now you're this. There's no time to think on your toes. Okay, now we're going to be here. Like if there's any time that's left for us to wonder, they will just shove you in a van and make you wait there, and you're not allowed to talk
Not
because
allowed.
if the cameras aren't on.
Right.
So a lot of times we get to whatever it was, even though it's like, okay, it's just a runway class. Why did we have to sit in the car for 8 hours? But like till everyone's ready, just there's just no thinking on your toes. There's no like, okay, this is what's going to be in there. This is what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But that's where like work ethic and like just doing what you're told comes in, right? Because I'm probably rambling and you're just nodding. Like the cockroach. That's what I'm getting at. Is
There's an
like,
episode where they made every contestant walk
yeah,
down a runway with a
wearing a cockroach.
huge cockroach somewhere on their body. Uh,
Right.
right.
But let's just say you're going into that challenge and you've just come off your walk is terrible, right? You just come off of like, let's do a runway class, which isn't really a class. It's just like, yep, you look stupid. Yep, you're terrible. Oh, now let's put you in
Oh,
the dress you're going to trip in. And then
it's like
now let's go do a runway show.
why don't you just put me in my childhood? Everybody's gonna just criticize
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
tell me
yeah.
everything I'm doing wrong. Oh,
So you have to put all of this in the mix of like 100 things going on in your head,
mhm.
being overly aware of being filmed,
Yeah.
not wanting to look stupid, and just yeah.
I would be in my trauma response. I would freeze. I would just like,
Like here we're gonna put a cockroach on you. So it's like there's just no processing.
yeah,
There's no processing speed
yeah, 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 yeah. Processing speeds.
because even the cockroach, it's like you're not getting in this until it's like, okay, the music's, oh, and you're going to put this on you. Like you're already ready to walk out there. Like, oh, you think this is easy? This is what you're going to do. Now you're going to do this, which fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But that really sums up just how much you couldn't like think fast. Even though, girls really did. I just couldn't. I couldn't think fast enough while also trying to play out in my head how this would play out once it airs.
Yeah, so your brain was like
Oh,
picturing how
yep,
it's going to
yep,
look,
yep, yep,
of
yep,
course.
of
And
course.
you had just come out of this traumatic, abusive
Yes,
relationship for years, and they wanted you to talk about that, and you were like, I don't feel comfortable. Like you were just hadn't, you were like a baby who had not been healed yet and was thrown into
right.
the
Like,
pits.
at least I feel like with that, I kept being like, yeah, yeah, okay. Like this is why. And I tried to just like move that along.
Yeah.
Um, which maybe I could have used that to like really shit on him, but
No, you were the bigger person.
It wasn't about him.
We still
Um,
haven't named names. We still haven't shit as much as
yeah,
we could have.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah. So I think maybe we were getting at some point the therapist.
so there were therapists who were working with producers on the show who would
Correct.
like give you all these like assessments beforehand
Correct. So
and then use the info against you,
I
basically.
want to say the therapist was when it was down to not the final 13 or whatever. It was right before that when it was the final 25, however many, right? And yeah, and they, of course, for me, they were really digging at that relationship. I didn't want to bring up I didn't want to bring up anything. I didn't want to give them anything. I didn't want to say I'm afraid of something like a cockroach so that they put it on us. I'm not going to say that like I was very aware of it,
Yeah,
but also like you have to kind of give a little bit. Um, So I think just kind of that was my little bit was that bullshit of not going to season 4. Uh yeah. Just weird. It's just
because he was
weird to go
controlling.
into something and like and not understand until later like, oh, I went in and was put in this pocket. Because I'm not going to give anything more than barf and like low processing speeds.
Mm,
Like jump off this thing. Yes, great. First one, they're like, oh my gosh, that's great. And then the rest were garbage. How? I don't know.
gravity.
Because you're jumping too far, but then you're not thinking about your face. But all of this, which I think in a normal photo shoot, you would get direction and you would get,
Yeah.
here's what you're doing, up your face, whatever it is. Where this is just like, okay, your body looks good, but now your face is this. So you're like, okay, now the face. Okay, your face was, but you're also still remembering that you're being filmed for television. So even when it's like, well, that looks easy or that does,
It's
for me,
not.
it wasn't because I'm like, right, but let me just let me just stay in this pose because I know that it's working and now you're yelling at me to move more, but I know that this is what you're going to get. And
Yeah.
it was like you were frozen. I was like, right, but my picture was good because I just didn't move from that spot.
Now, were you able, when the cameras were off, like at night or whatever, to talk to the other models and be like, "Are you dying? Because I'm dying. How are you doing? Are you?" Or did they?
Everyone would have to be quiet for the lights to go out.
Oh,
So like everyone has to be in bed for the lights to go out. And so you're sleeping with these like huge freaking, TV lights on you and you're like, who is awake? Uh
so are you mic'd in bed?
no.
Okay,
They
but they're picking it up.
trying to think if they I mean, obviously we had to take them off before, but you had like it was like the laundry room or whatever, and you'd go and get mic'd or unmic'd, and it had everyone. That's my boob out for like half of the show. Blur that.
The show inside the show, the real show.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you didn't have a
No, there
chance to like
wasn't.
talk to people about like, I'm really having a hard time
You
because,
do, but it's filmed.
but it's on
I
camera, right?
think
No private conversations.
the like little bit of it that they showed was like when they show the episode where you're eliminated, like you can usually tell which two girls are going to be in the bottom two because there's more of like there's more focus, right? And so from that it was like me sitting down and saying like I I don't know what to do. I was like, well, just show them your personality. I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but how are we doing that?
Yeah.
So that was that final episode, my final whatever, when I was eliminated, was like the first time I wasn't dying until I was dying.
Because you felt more comfortable that time, that episode? Like what happened that you didn't?
I mean, it was terrible, right? The commercial was awful. It was terrible. But it was also like, here's what you're going to say,
Mhm.
learn it.
Right.
Okay? Which I'm like, I'm not going to. What is the point? What is the point? I can sit here and read this thing 100 times. I'm not going to get it right. Like, it will leave my brain, trying to make a song about it. You hear other people kind of saying it, whatever. We'll string something together. So then, like, the first take was just like me walking in silence and then like saying the lines.
That's great.
Great, great, but what about the rest of it? And you're like, shit. Okay, you know what? I did it. And so you do it again, and you're like, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? I have to improv. I have to improv. And they're like, go. And you have a minute, and it's a moving camera, so you have to follow the camera. You can't let the camera get too far ahead of
Oh
you.
my God.
You can't be too close to it. So like other girls are getting yelled at for like you stopped at the party and the camera kept going, or it was so much.
That's a lot.
I said something, and I think it was good.
You did great. I loved it. But
And
I'm
then
but I'm
then
the
I got to the end,
bestie.
and I was like, this is this. Like
It was
it
so
was just
cute.
words, and it was thinking, and it was like, I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing, and this is crazy. Because Mr. J is there, like he's right there. Like you land at your spot, and he's right here. And so you look down, and he's like, I'm like, I don't. And they're just laughing, right? They're him and the photographer. They're just laughing. I'm like, I don't even know. And so I'm laughing at this point. I go
Yeah.
downstairs into the room. I'm like, oh, you did. I'm like, no, I did terrible. But
Yeah.
I finally got to a place where I was like, that was terrible. But
Yeah.
next challenge. What do you got? What's next? So yeah, I finally settled in after 2 months.
And that was the day that they were like, you gotta
Yep,
go.
like get
Get her
out.
out of here.
Get her out of here. And that's crazy. It's all a fever dream, but that was intense. That was intense. Like
I couldn't have
being in
done it.
this memory that like never fails me, and I wish sometimes it would. Well, also, I'm going to admit that I like watch my elimination often.
Yeah.
Not often, maybe that's like a couple times a year. But
Uh-huh.
like if someone asks about it, I'm like, let's just put this out there. Let me show you this. Let's move on. Like let's move on. Ended up talking about it again a couple weeks ago, and the lady was like, did you like have a panic attack?" I'm like, "Yes." She goes, "Yes, I remember you."
See, people got
And
it.
I had multiple. But
Yeah.
anyways, point is,
And you were raw dogging anxiety
I'm
and panic
eliminated with
attacks.
like my tag sticking out, and then you just walk off, and then you don't go back up into the green room. You're just shuffled into this room where everyone's looking at you like,
Right.
"God, we can't believe it. Tell us about it. Tell us how you feel. Get right in here. Get right in here." And you're just like, you're like, I can still hear them talking. Like
Yeah.
you're like, where am I? Like, what just happened? I'm like, and then you just have this awkward ride home again with the camera, probably. No, maybe not that time. But then you get back to the place and you have to pack. That's awkward. And it's just no one talking to you, and you're just packing up your stuff. And then you walk out the front door 10 times, which is a door you didn't even use. So after they were finally like, okay, we got it, then you can go out the back door. So you're dead, but you're still filming.
Oh,
I wish you could just come along and just watch it. Just
I cried with you. I mean, it
I know, but
was
like you're just done dying, and there's no finish line. You're just like dragging your dead body to a hopeful finish line.
Mm.
Just and then the car ride to the hotel, and then to the hotel, and then like to you see like a couple of the other girls, and they're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, because
But
this, you taught me this too. You don't leave, like, if you're going home.
no,
You
no, you
don't
don't
leave.
leave.
You go to the hotel, and they keep you around in case they need you or whatever to reach shoot some shit.
Because then the next challenge, myself, two other girls were in the next challenge just as like body count, which was like when Danny and I got to see each other, and we were just like, and I was like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay.
Oh,
Because I
that's
had like a great night's sleep and was like, I had moved on. I was like, okay, this, I was completely out of like that world. Um, yeah,
probably a big relief.
yeah, just yeah, but you're also, you're also so sad, so sad.
Hmm.
You're angry at yourself. It's just so many feelings, and you're just being shuffled around with them. And that's not like, how dare they or whatever. I can't. If you can't take the heat, get out the top model
Ugh,
because
there had only been like 5 seasons before yours. There wasn't much time to like analyze and have a game plan. Like
yeah.
it,
Ooh.
it
I think
wasn't like now,
that-
like everybody watches reality shows every 5 seconds and we all know the
right.
formula and we can like have strategies. It was just like, oh, you just finished this toxic relationship with this guy who was so controlling that he wouldn't allow you to like go on the show when they wanted you in season 4, cycle 4, as they call it. You didn't want to be an over talker, so you stopped talking.
I just stopped talking because that was easier. And then it was just like be agreeable. And so when it was like the first thing you do, and it's like it cuts from like, okay, we just made it, yay, to all of a sudden like my hair looks like straw and we're like going into a press conference where everyone's just like in their like pajamas, like, oh, we're in the show and I look like a freaking clown.
No, you look
Because you've been
gorgeous.
there so long before, and like all that red hair dye was out, so my hair was just like this fried orange. Anyway, and then yeah, we were just jumped into this press conference where it's like, tell us why you're gonna win, or whatever it is, and in your head you're just like, if I say,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna win because this, you're cocky. If I, it's like you're just like, there's nothing that can come out of my mouth that isn't going to bite me because
Yeah.
Janice Dickinson is sitting right there.
Oh, forget it. Yeah, anything. I mean, you're fucked either way.
So there's
Whatever you
never
say.
there's never a situation where you're not like throwing up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you had just come from a highly critical. I mean, I used to watch the way this guy would talk about you
Yeah.
or treat you. And so, of course, you're going to be like in your shell about, ooh, if I say this, I might get this criticism or this feedback. So
Right.
I would do
Right.
the same thing. Like you're still in this
And
traumatized.
I'm in this new relationship. So I'm also like,
I don't want to
which is,
embarrass that guy. I don't want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, or his family, you're
Yes.
literally thinking of a million people but yourself.
It's
And like,
hard not
yeah,
to.
yeah.
Like, how could you not?
Yeah. And also it's just like, just back to work ethic. Just tell me what to do.
Yeah, I'll just
Tell
do
me what to do. Just tell me and I'll do it.
it.
Like
Please.
the day at the salon was like the best day because it was like insane. And I was like, I don't care. I was already excited that you were shaving our heads.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't care. And
Which
everyone
is
else was
fantastic.
really, really caring. And we were
Yeah.
there for like 19 years. That was like an 8-hour day.
Yeah, but you were ready to do whatever they wanted to. You didn't care. You trusted the process.
No,
Like, great, you
no.
want to shave my head, shave it.
And
Whatever
then
you
they're
want
like,
to do.
what's your style gonna be? And like, I
Same.
mean, I don't,
Like, just what I always do. Yeah.
yeah.
I was so
And my
sad when
style
they
at the
didn't pick
time
you
was
to
just
win the
like,
style challenge. I thought it was
right,
you were
taking all my
so
clothes.
cute.
Yes, because when we decided on something, it was like, okay, let's do very, because they just wanted Rosemary's Baby so much, right?
Yes.
That was the whole thing. And they're just this is what it's going to be, and this is who you're going to be. And I'm like, right, but I'm also like
No, they wouldn't allow that. They
rock and
already
roll.
put you in
So
a
he's like,
box.
okay, so you're kind of like a rock and roll, what's it called?
Mod. What did they
Yeah,
say?
thank you. Thank you, mod. So I put together a whole mod outfit, which like you should have put on the boots that you were gonna put on. But I was like, right, but then I remembered that I'm like going kind of pinup-y mod with this rocket. Anyways,
Yeah, it
whatever.
was so
I thought it
cute.
was amazing.
It
I thought it was fun.
was. It still it holds up. It's classic.
Yeah, it's
You were the
classic.
winner in so many people's eyes because people
Couldn't
saw
believe it.
that.
Couldn't believe it. I mean, I
Yeah.
could, but not
It's
that I didn't win, but that there was a criticism when I'm like, she's like, that's not mod. I'm like, oh well, you maybe you didn't get the memo of
you're
what we
like, I
discussed.
actually have studied. I know that you're also a
And you
professional.
can't. Like, I'm just going to sit here and argue with Rachel Zoe, like, just right here, also being filmed, right? You're all like, also just Kay, and like,
Ah, but everybody knew you looked amazing. They just didn't want to
thank,
give it to you. They just didn't want to give it to you.
no, they didn't. They really didn't.
They were withholding.
Yeah, they really,
But you just wanted to get back into modeling, and that's
correct,
what you thought this would do. And it
correct.
did. However,
Yeah.
it's different nowadays. Nowadays, you go on a reality show, it's like, great, next you're going to do Dancing with the
No.
Stars, and next you're going to do a podcast, and then you're going to
Yes.
get this
Now you're in
endorsement.
traders, and then, yes.
Right. Back then, it was like, ooh, you're going to try to model? You were just on a TV show. It was so different. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know if
It wasn't, and
people
it wasn't
understand that.
real world. Real world people were still cool because they weren't doing challenges that made them look stupid.
It's like people
And a
are
bunch of
watching
just
you
like
get
catty
humiliated.
women. Yeah, it's like there was no like
Mm,
throw in this like chill, cool factor or let's
you're right.
tease. No, it's just pure chaos.
And they're degrading you and there's like a power
Yes,
hierarchy and it's
it
very
was
uncomfortable.
chaotic.
It's just like
And
like a
you're just like,
toxic.
uh-huh, and I want to be here, and I'm just gonna kiss ass, and I'm just gonna do whatever you say, even though, God, how many girls in the beginning that were like, I don't want to get naked. Well, you're gonna have to get naked in the industry. No, you're not.
Oof.
I
Mm,
love to get naked in the industry because that's me.
right.
That's how a play has got to be.
Mm.
So, yeah,
Yeah, it was a lot.
it was a
And
lot.
you were like alone on an island with
Yeah,
a camera in your face, up your
yeah.
butt.
And you were alone. You weren't alone. You and Chris and someone else, probably Daryl, all signed this like we'll
They they
hunt you down and kill you and take your
yeah,
firstborn if
they
you
made us
say
sign a
the
thing
word.
saying,
Yeah,
even if your friend Mollie dies, you're
yeah,
not gonna fucking say not gonna say a
yeah,
word to us.
yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't think I can sign this. But I signed
Because
it.
those are people that were like on the call list.
If you were like
And
going to that
the only
call
person I ever
room,
talked to was Chris
that's
because
great. Because you
why
had
would
so
like
little time. And
yeah,
then
I mean,
he gave me the updates.
what am I gonna say?
We have 1 minute.
I'm being filmed. It doesn't matter. I'm being filmed. What am I gonna call you? Talk about vagina juice? No, we do that now, but I wasn't going to 20 years ago.
Perfectly understandable. People
Let's go
evolve.
let's go back on the show now
Yes.
and just puke. Just bring a bag. Just have a bag.
We had to let her go because she was vomiting. Uh, I think that's
Uh,
good. That's good TV.
it is good TV. They would keep that.
They would, and you would just be like, "Barf girl." Oh my God. Um,
Bye, girl.
I love you so much.
I love you.